What's going on, everybody? This is the Burn Down. Today's episode, we have not one, but two very special guests joining us. They are the founders of the Experience Brokers. They're also the founders of New York Cigar Weekend. And we also have a very special announcement to make coming up next on the Burn Down.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Burn Down. Today's guests, very special guests, not one but two. We got Jamison and the OG, founders of the Experience Brokers and New York Cigar Weekend. Gentlemen, what's going on?
Life is amazing. What's going on with you guys?
We're feeling some type of way right now. We never put on hats, and we got the hats today just for you guys. We got the 1920 style just for you guys.
Oh man, it's an honor and a privilege, gentlemen. Definitely glad to be here. I mean, everyone is very handsome. I love it. Everyone's dapper. You literally look like you are ready to go to New York Cigar Weekend. So I mean, what more can I say?
I mean, this might be the outfit. Who knows? But
I mean, that's the whole point. That's the whole point of Get Up. I mean, once we met you guys, I mean, we thought we dressed pretty dapper, and then we met our opponent, and we said, you know what? We got to match up to these guys and make sure that we all look alike when we're doing this interview.
We gotta get to the next level.
Yeah, we got to level up a little bit.
This is a beautiful, friendly competition. I totally appreciate it.
Right?
I have no idea, gentlemen.
It only makes it better.
You guys are wearing hats, and
I think it's like twins
without a hat.
Right, it's gonna be twins. You know, you won't be able to tell who is who. You know, when the four of us link up. So
I like it.
Yeah, man.
So we want to dive into the interview. We want to ask you guys a lot of questions about yourselves, about the companies and the events that you guys have put together. But before we get into this, we have to discuss what are we smoking, what are we drinking, so that we can cut them, light them, and get on with the episode. Yeah. So, Jamison, I see you got one in your hand. What are you smoking?
I already totally went out of turn. See, I apologize. I didn't know the etiquette, so please forgive me, gentlemen. But I am smoking a Sessions, right? And perfect. This, you can't get no more age than this. I'm smoking this stick. We originally received this stick last year for New York Cigar Weekend. And I'm just now cracking it open, just now slicing it, and it's smoking amazing. And of course, I'm pairing it with you can't go wrong with some Woodford.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, that's a staple.
That's a go-to.
You just can't go wrong.
You got a nice aged cigar. You know what we call over here on the Burn Down. It's been marinating a little bit.
Yeah.
Hashtag marinating.
That's right, baby. So it looks like OG's on the way to do something. What do you got going on over there?
All right, so I am walking to my destination right now. I actually have a few with me. I'm not sure when I'm going to smoke yet, but I'm feeling really good tonight. I mean, you guys are looking good, so I think I might smoke the best I have. So, I mean, actually, I don't know if I told you all, but I have a cigar line under the namesake of my brand, the OG Theory. And the heavy hitter, what everyone loves right now, is our gold label.
Yes.
So our gold label is Nicaraguan blend, Nicaraguan filler, and a nice Ecuadorian wrapper on that. I would say it's like a really creamy medium plus body that just smokes like a dream from the first pull all the way throughout. So I think that's probably what I'm going to do when I get inside.
Let's go. The heavy hitter.
I mean, that's right up my alley. It sounds Nicaraguan filler, Nicaraguan binder, Ecuadorian wrapper. I mean, I'm partial Nicaraguan puros, and that's got a little bit of a twist. That creaminess comes from the Ecuadorian wrapper. So I'd be very interested to try one of those cigars.
I mean, well, you're gonna try it. You know, when we all link up, New York Cigar Weekend. That's pretty much the premise. The premise is us smoking cigars and having an amazing time. So I'm definitely going to make sure that both of you gentlemen have it in hand, as long as a bunch of other treats, and that's just myself. Jamison, I'm sure he has a bunch of stuff up his sleeves as well. You know, I mean, I can't really say too much. All I can say is that you all are in for a great time. So
Let's go.
Well, we are super excited. We're going to talk more about that in upcoming in this episode. So, guys, please stay tuned. Right now, we're about to cut these, and we're about to pour ourselves a drink, and we'll be right back in just a minute.
But hold on, before we say anything, we gotta say what we're smoking, son.
I'm
Come
like,
on.
Right.
dude,
So-
my bad, my
so
bad.
flustered.
As I was.
Anyways, before Justin,
It was so good. Like, it flowed naturally, too. It flowed so well, and I was ready to end it, and then I
thought you were gonna break it in a little bit.
I
but
missed the big
I had
nugget.
to, as per usual, I had to bring you back.
Damn.
Just gotta do it.
All
But today, gentlemen and ladies and gentlemen out there listening and watching, we have the Liga Privada number 9 Flying Pig. Some of you don't always see too often. It's hard to get out here.
And don't let the small size fool you, because this bad boy is going to last a long time.
That's right.
It is such a slow burn, such a great flavor. Love it. So that's what we're going to be smoking. And then Eric wound up bringing these IPAs. He knows I like IPAs.
That's right.
A new Belgian Voodoo Ranger Juicy Haze IPA. No clue what the hell this is.
But we're gonna get
Never
into
had
it.
it before, but it should be good.
Absolutely.
So stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Now we can go.
All right. So now we.
So Jamison, the Experienced Brokers. What is it? How did it start? How did you and OG connect on it? What's the history behind it? What's your
So
story?
I'm gonna try to give you the short version. So the Experienced Brokers, we are a liaison between major brands and the actual people like yourself and other goers of events and people who actually enjoy elite luxury experiences, right? So therefore we only deal with certain types of brands because we only bring certain types of experiences. So what we've noticed out of our decade of doing activations, events, and experiences across the country, OG and I, we realized these brands, they have a great budget, they have a great product, but they don't have the people. They don't know where the people are. And what they would do is hire these representatives to go out into the market. But the representatives, it's no knock to them at all. The representatives, though, are, in a cubicle, or, they just have a certain level of expertise, right? And it doesn't necessarily connect to the streets often, right? So they just paid all this money for this guy that kind of don't know how to connect the brand. He can make sales, but he can't connect the brand to the people. So since we specialize in connecting the people to the correct brands, we said, let's reverse engineer this. Let's connect the brands to the right people, since we already know how that formula works. So that's what the Experienced Brokers are. We are
So
the
you
liaison.
guys are the facilitators.
Yeah, we're a one-stop call for any of your elite luxury brands or experiences that you want to have across the country. You call us, and we kind of make everything happen like it's one phone call, and I'll let OG pick up for how we came together,
Yeah, I mean, everything Jamison says 100% on point. I mean, you've heard the old adage, your network is your net worth, So actually, I mean, the way we came together actually was through mutual friend and business associate of both of ours. It was kind of a situation where I came back to New York, and he was like, "Hey, listen, look." He was like, "Oh, you're heading back up." He's like, "My one of my close business associates is there right now. He's working on a thing. I think that you two need to come together." I said, "All right, cool. A friend of yours is a friend of mine. I mean, if you want to keep the whole Ocean's 14 theme going." So he's work, he's like, "Hey, listen, look, let's meet up." So I'm like, all right, I know the pedigree of the individual I'm going to meet. So I'm like, I got to take this guy somewhere that I usually go. So we meet up at the Nomad Hotel. I don't know if you've been to Nomad Hotel before, in Iron, but it's a very regal,
Regal.
and
Great word.
And kind of transcends time, if you will. So we meet up there, we start kind of talking, and literally it's like, immediately we hit it off. I feel like I've been talking to someone that I've known forever, and that was like the first 10 minutes. So we start talking. I'm like, hey, I do this, I have access to these type of things. He's saying the same thing, and just immediately it's just kind of in both of our minds, we're like, all right, we should be doing business together. Sometimes it just feels right, like it felt right.
Yeah,
it just clicks.
Yeah, it just clicks. You
had a little bit of a stepbrother moment. Like, did we just become best friends?
You know what? It's funny you say that. Actually,
That's exactly how I feel.
What did you say? You remember what you said? You remember what you said when you met me after we talked for like 10 minutes?
I said, "Yo, we got to check something out. Are we related?" Check something out. Are we related? My family's pretty big. They spread out a lot. So I'm like, maybe this is my cousin or something. Like, it's gotta be. Like, I because I know this guy. Like,
right.
We're almost like one of those relationships where you finish the other person's sentence or what have you. And it was weird. It was real weird.
We call those brothers from another mother.
Yep. That's all it is.
Right.
And this most definitely is a true definition of that. When you guys see us work in person, you'll fully understand that, probably, like OG said, within the first 10 minutes.
Awesome. Now, did you guys have like a background in like event planning or like anything like that? Like, how did you guys get into this?
So what I will say is, we're not event planners. I will totally take that out, because an event planner kind of has a set formula. There's a clockwork. There's, like a wedding planner, there's an occasion and things of that nature. We create the occasion. We create the environment. We totally create the title of the good time. So therefore, we're not like event planners. When I think of that word, it's kind of like they are making sure that it falls within the guidelines of whatever this said occasion is. Where what we do as the experience brokers, we can get as radical as, I don't know, the experience needs to get in order to get the point across to the individuals, both the brand and the guests.
So it's kind of like, whereas an event planner, somebody already has an event that they're doing and they need somebody to kind of work it and plan what the event is. But for you guys, somebody comes to you with, quote unquote, a problem or an idea, and you guys make whatever that is happen, however you have to make that happen.
Yes. That's
so
exactly.
You're solving their problem of, hey, I need to connect to these people, or I need to connect to those people. How do I do that? You're like, we got the solution for you. This is how we're going to do it.
Which is way more difficult, because you're kind of, it seems like you're kind of starting from the ground up every single time you're doing something different.
I appreciate you for recognizing that, because a lot of people don't. They think what we do is so easy and that anyone can do it. OG and I, sometimes we just look at each other like, are you kidding me?
Well, you got to get all the relationships. You got to meet the people who own this business, who own that business, who own this brand, who own that brand. If their schedule complies with your schedule, I mean, it's a lot of back and forth.
Yeah, there's a lot, and then you have to know the right people to invite as guests that will please the brands or the business owner or the venue owners. So it's a lot of research. It's a lot of analytics. It's a lot of real work being put in place in order to do what we do as the experience brokers.
Sure. And that can be what's the word of the end result being the event and the things that you plan could kind of taint what actually goes on behind the scenes. Is because everything moves so smoothly and seamlessly during the events that people think it's just kind of, it works itself, but they don't understand all of the things and the time that it took to make all of those things run seamlessly.
It's like when you see someone who's super successful and they're like, oh, he got it so easy. And you're like, well, you don't know how many years this man grinded or woman grinded to get to where he is today.
So I would always say, what's his name? It says, it takes 20 years to become an overnight success.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Like, I love that quote. And it's
they
like,
shaved it down to about 10 now. They shaved it like it says OG and I, we've been doing this for a decade. We're I think 2021 is going to be the time that people are going to be like, oh, that's easy. Those guys just came out of nowhere. And it's like,
they don't know.
I'm so glad you recognize that, man. I'm so glad that you guys are acknowledging that. And my brother and I, like we really, really do work hard. Like, even if you just knew what this Monday was like, I
like to think I'm like, somewhat of a smart guy. I mean, just from what you explained, that's what registered in my head. I'm like, well, it sounds like he's doing everything from scratch. Like, there's no like, yeah, he has the connections, he has the network, or both you guys do rather. But it's the point of going out every single day, making the phone calls, making the visits, showing up in person. It's all that good stuff.
I mean, we experience it firsthand too. Where say that again?
I said tracking people down that's not answering your calls.
No, everyone always ghosts you. Everyone's always ghosts. Everyone always ghosts.
But but we experience it firsthand too, especially with videos. I mean, and we put a video out, and it's every Friday, and somewhere in between, it's an hour-long video, 45 minutes, whatever it is. But people don't see that it takes, almost 8 hours of editing a video, another hour or two of with the audio, another hour or two planning what we're going to talk about, setting everything up, right? It takes a while. Yeah. Like, it takes a lot of work to put out just one video.
Yeah.
See, and so therefore you guys understand, you guys appreciate it. Like, I've seen like your last 3 episodes, and I was like, after every one, I'm just like, wow.
Well, thank you, brother.
Thank you.
I can imagine what you guys go through, and I'm actually excited for what we're about to go through together doing this live presentation of you.
Yeah,
guys.
so let's talk about that. So, New York Cigar Weekend. So, for the people who are listening and watching, we are going to be an ambassador for New York Cigar Weekend. So, thank you, OG, and thank you, Jamison.
Cheers to you guys.
Cheers to you, gentlemen. Thank you for the opportunity.
Cheers, gentlemen.
So what that means for all of you guys watching, and again the guys that are listening and the people that are listening, what that means, like Eric said, we are ambassadors for New York Cigar Weekend, and we're going to dive in to what New York Cigar Weekend is. But essentially, we are going to be attending these events, and we are going to be hosting a live burn down episode.
Yeah.
At one of these events. It's going to be a private location. We're going to dive a little bit more into the New York Cigar Weekend. But Eric and myself, the Burn Down Podcast, will be doing a live episode right from one of the events at New York Cigar Weekend.
Be there or be mother effing square.
So let's dive in. What is New York Cigar Weekend? How did it start? What is it? What is it going to look like this year? Give us a little background behind that.
Who goes first? OG, you or me?
OG's been a little quiet. Let the man go.
You go first.
All right. So look, I'll say this like this. New York Cigar Weekend started, and I appreciate you because you said you guys basically solve problems, right? And that's exactly how and why New York Cigar Weekend even became in existence. So the year prior, 2018, was the last year for Big Smoke New York, right?
Yeah.
And during that time, Atlanta Cigar Week, which is currently going on right now, right, in Atlanta, we received a huge influx of out-of-town guests from New York City. So I just knew, wow, the cigar culture in New York is just, oh my goodness, right? So after it was over, the following month, October, I decided to, we make a lot of connections. That's what the socializing and the networking is for. So I come to New York. I love New York City. I love the electricity in New York City. Even the little kids move with purpose in New York City, right?
That's a great word to describe it. Electricity.
So I came expecting to see all of these same people in the same place. But I come to find out in New York City, the people in Brooklyn don't smoke with the people in Queens. The people in the Bronx, they don't smoke with the people in Soho. The people in Manhattan, they ain't going out to Long Island. They're not just. It's not happening. No matter
The people
how
from
good
Long Island aren't going
Yeah.
into the city. So.
Maybe us. Every once in a while we'll go to the Carnegie Club or something, but
Right. See, but again, but you guys are leaving Long Island to come in for New York Cigar Weekend. This is what we are promoting. This is our motto right now. Basically, unifying everyone within the city around the stick. Period. Around the leaf. Right. So it kind of hurt my feelings a little bit because now I feel like I'm choosing sides because all of these people that I met in Atlanta in one place at one time, they come back home and they'll probably never see each other again until the next time they all come to Atlanta. And I said, whoa, a place like this needs this type of camaraderie. Like, I don't necessarily think you like the average smoking New Yorker is utilizing all the resources because they want to be stuck on one side. I brought this to OG and OG said, "Hey man, that's just how it is." And I don't like it either. So he said, "Let's do something about it." And that is how New York Cigar Weekend actually got started. I said, "Yo, you know what? Let's use the same formula. Let's use the same motto. We're not going to use a whole week because nobody got that type of time. But like, not New York. Remember, the little kids got somewhere to go. See what I'm saying? So let's create a weekend where we can incorporate all of these different boroughs and also maximize the appearance and maybe the foot traffic or the flow to these cigar shops that are in New York City that just don't quite get the type of visibility because they're in Brooklyn and they can't get the Manhattan people to come across the bridge, or they're in Long Island like Matador. I love Matador, right?
Oh yeah,
That's my local shop.
That's the spot, man. That's the spot.
Yeah, so like, don't get it twisted. OG will tell you, I used to fly into MacArthur, so therefore I could stop in Matador before I come into the city.
Wow,
right?
There you go.
And a lot of people don't even, understand how beneficial that is, both to the shop and to your experience, to your New York experience.
Absolutely.
So that is something that I seen within my eyes. I brought it to OG. OG said, I've been feeling the same way, but it takes more than one person. And I said, well, look, is it bigger than two?
Great question. That's a great question. Now, this is the first year of it, right? No? Second year. Okay.
The second year. So year one, we maximized Brooklyn, we maximized Soho, Manhattan. Where else did we go?
We did Brooklyn, Soho, and Times Square.
Oh, and Times. That was the kicker for me. No one. Everyone thought we were lying through our teeth when we said, "Listen, we're going to close out in Times Square." They said, "Impossible. You can't smoke in what, at Nat Sherman?" I was like, "No, we're closing out under the ball, under the New Year's Eve ball. We're closing out at the Knickerbocker on the rooftop." They said, "Impossible."
Damn.
Well, we have the footage to prove that anything is possible.
Impossible just means I'm possible, right?
Yeah, that's it. That's all that matters.
And I like, because if you can, I mean, just like the song goes, Frank Sinatra, right? With the New York song, if you can do it there, you can do it anywhere.
If I can make it here, I can make it anywhere.
You know what I'm saying? So if you can do an event in New York City, you can do an event anywhere in the world. I truly believe, because New York City, I mean,
it's tough, man.
It's almost like the heartbeat of the Eastern Hemisphere.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, Western Hemisphere, East Coast. I'm thinking East Coast. It's the heartbeat of this side of the planet. I mean, when you're on that side of the planet, everybody, as soon as you say United States, or as soon as you say over here, they say New York City, right? That's the first thing they think of. So
I'm from Detroit, right? I love my city. I do, right? I'm currently living in Atlanta, right? I like Atlanta, right? But there's nothing like New York City. Not like that's one place that if you don't respect it, you probably need to move to Italy or something. like literally, like New York City is that.
OG's laughing.
I love.
Why are you laughing, OG? What's so funny over there?
I mean, he's right. You know what? All right, for a serious moment though, you know what's interesting? Often, especially as individuals who either live in New York or who create in New York City, oftentimes we don't realize the magnitude and the capacity of what it is that we're doing. You know, because for instance, like Jamison and myself, we've been doing events, we've been curators, you know, we've been socialites, we've been influencers for years before Instagram, you know, before the social media thing, based off of genuine connections, based off of our network, based off of the individuals that are in our, you know, inside of our experience. So I think that oftentimes, you know, we don't give ourselves enough credit. Like, hey, we curated a successful cigar event in the biggest, most recognizable, most important city in the world. You know?
Yeah.
That's the thing.
It's something to be said.
Right. Sometimes, hey, we live here, so we're in it. You know, we're in it and we're of it. But it's like when there's a kid somewhere, or maybe, you know, a brother or like a sister of the leaf that lives in Hawaii, or lives like, you know, somewhere in the Midwest or in the deep South somewhere, you know, or even in Canada or wherever else they're at, that don't have that type of environment and culture around them. They don't get to see these type of things. They don't go, you know, get to experience the lights and the fast cars and like the people running a million miles a day. To them, it's like, wait, so who are these guys? I only know them online. I only see them on my Instagram. Everything they do looks amazing. You know, look at the places these people go to eat, to drink, to smoke. I don't even know how to experience that. I don't even know how to have fun on that type of level. You know, when you see us paying the town head, like people are seeing that and they're like, wow. You know, you'd be surprised the type of emails, DMs that we get from people, like the most rural places, like, I want to be you. Like, seriously. And at first, it's kind of, you know, you're taken aback by, like, haha, I get it. But no, like, they're serious, you know? So I think that sometimes you have to kind of take a step back and not only appreciate it, but understand the depth and the capacity of what it is that we're undertaking and what it is that we're, you know? Like, it's no small feat, but we have to be cognizant of that.
No, I'm totally on the same page because, I mean, especially if you're from here, you almost take it for granted.
I know I do.
Like, for instance, you know, I've lived on Long Island my entire life, aside from going away to school, but I've lived here for majority of my life, and everybody asks, like, oh, you know, first thing they ask, oh, have you been into the Empire State Building? Have you been in here? Have you been in there? And it's almost like, no, I've been there now that I've traveled, like, with my girlfriend and stuff, but they think that I go there every single weekend, and it's like, no, you take it for granted because it's so close. So, like, to your point is, you don't understand at the magnitude of it at first, and then after you've done it, like you said, this is the second year, you're like, holy shit, wait a second. We've curated this event, like you said, in the biggest, most well-known city on the planet. Mm-hmm. I mean, you can go into the middle of Russia, and somebody's going to know what New York City is.
Of course. Everybody's
going to know. I mean, when I was in Taiwan, and I said New York, instantly, everybody said New York City. Like, oh, New York City, oh, that's awesome. Yep. You know, Empire State Building, Madison Square. Like, they know it. Everybody on the planet knows New York City. So when they see you guys curating this event and how successful and how magnificent this event is, it means that much more.
Absolutely. So, yeah, I mean, I lived outside of New York. I lived in Atlanta for a little bit. I lived in Connecticut, and there's just truly nothing like it. And everyone, you know, as soon as you tell you're someone from New York, they think automatically you're from New York City. Yeah. You know, oh, I'm from New York. Oh, you live in the city? Oh, wow, that's crazy. Oh, that's crazy. I'm like, no, I don't live in New York City.
Yo,
but that's always the first thing. They go, oh, I always wanted to go to New York City. Oh, I love New York City.
Hey, man, don't do that. Don't do that. Long Island is a borough. Long Island is a borough.
It's the forgotten borough.
It's
the forgotten borough. They say Yonkers is the forgotten borough. Long Island's also a forgotten borough. But it's always the first thing. I've never came across someone yet where I said, oh, I'm from New York, and it's been a negative response about New York. It's always like, oh, at New York City. Oh, New York, I love it. Blah, 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 blah. It's always like, oh, wow. But yeah, it's something to be said. I mean, like, you guys are getting all the boroughs all aligned together so everyone can kind of come together and just enjoy a very simple thing that we all like. That it's just wild that this piece that comes from the earth that people make, and it drives everybody together, and you know, it's just a relaxing environment, and it's a type of culture where people kind of, you know, look up to because it comes with a certain stigma of success, classiness and stuff like that. And some people it scares, and some people it entices. And I know it enticed me when I first got into cigars, and here we are today.
I mean, it's amazing. Just think about it. We wouldn't have met you guys, and we wouldn't be working with you guys on New York Cigar Weekend if it wasn't for the cigar. I mean, if I didn't start a page 3 years ago, if you didn't start a page 2 years ago, if I think about it, I even go back further. When I was in college, I was on a 5-year program, and I actually stayed another half of a year to finish up a minor. And this is me kind of getting a little deep about certain things. Things happen to you for a reason.
Yeah.
I stayed an extra half a year to finish up minor. And then after I graduated, I got an offer for a job that I actually just didn't have a good feeling for. It just sit in the pit of my stomach. I'm like, this isn't for me. And I turned it down with no other offers on the table. And I wound up waiting 2 weeks later, and then your father sent me a spam email saying, hey, listen, I remember you from like 7 years ago. Are you looking for a job? Like, you happen to be looking for a job? And I said, yeah, I am actually. And I came in, and that day I got the job from you, and I got the feeling like, no, this is the job for me. And I worked with your dad. And now 2 years later, I met you, and we hit it off like brothers from another mother. And then I start a cigar page, and you start a cigar page. And now next thing you know, we have the idea to start a podcast. And now here we are working with you guys. We can't wait to meet you guys in person. But I think back, like, if I never stayed that extra half a year, what if I would have taken that job?
Come on, man.
I would have been in a different spot. If I didn't get that gut feeling from the big man upstairs saying, no, this ain't for you, who knows where we would have been. So it's amazing how things fall into place, and then something so simple as leaves from the earth rolled together for our pleasure can bring people together.
That's what it is.
With that statement, I most definitely, I believe in divinity, right? So I believe that, and we're not going to get super deep, guys, but I totally believe in some way, some form, in the full circle of the world, you would have still ended up here. We would have still ended up together, because there is not, like, literally, this isn't forced at all. I know the people out there viewing, listen, this was probably one of the easiest meetings. I was in Houston, Texas when I first saw you guys.
Yeah.
This is like probably one of the easiest meetings, the easiest collaborations I think OG and I have had all year. And I mean, despite all of the obstacles, you have COVID going on, you just have egos, attitudes, all kind of thing, business, travel. We all have our own primary sources of income and revenue, but like, this was seamless. So, man, I appreciate you for recognizing that.
Absolutely, man. And I wanna continue this, but we're gonna take a quick break, and we're gonna come right back into this because I don't want you guys to get cut off. So we're gonna So we'll end this real quick, and we'll start right back up where we left off. All right, boys?
Don't go anywhere.
Stay tuned.
New York Cigar Weekend.
What exactly is Cigar Weekend? New York Cigar Weekend. When is it? Is the first question. And then what does it look like? Like, what are the days? I know it's a Thursday to Sunday. It's a long weekend, but what does that weekend look like? Yeah. Now we can. Now he's got the spotlight on him.
Now the man means business.
All right, gentlemen. So basically, what we're doing is it's a whole weekend of cigar activities, fun, fellowship. I was trying to, articulate my words extremely carefully for those who have never been there before. What we do is we just kind of take you on a tour, I would say. Literally like a physical tour of New York City. This year we had to go a little bit rogue, for COVID. So we're doing Thursday through Sunday. So Thursday, September 24th through Sunday, September 27th. So I'll walk you through it. Thursday evening, we start off at I-9 Bistro, which is it's like a nice international food kind of driven lounge in the South Bronx. It's in the Piano District, so the newly coined term, or people that might know it as Sobro. So South Bronx.
Got you.
It's in the area. Soho. Right. It's in the area that's kind of like the Soho of the Bronx, so to speak. It's a beautiful space. when you walk through, you get to the outside, it just kind of like transports you to somewhere else. Like you feel like you're like in Miami or something. Like it's beautiful back there. It's super floral. It just has like an amazing energy. So we have a lot going on there. We're gonna have like some live hat fittings. We have some live art that evening. I actually have a brother that's coming in from the DMV. He's gonna be doing like some cigar box paintings. I'm launching a box for my namesake line, OG Theory, the gold label, which I'm smoking right now.
Heavy hitter.
We're actually gonna be pretty much going through that whole scenario that evening. So that's gonna be pretty. Also, what's cool about that event is it's going to be no cover. So we decided that we wanted to have a pre-party this year. We wanted to have an event for individuals who they might not be acclimated to New York Cigar Weekend, or they might not know who we are as the experienced brokers. Your crowd, they might not know who you are in real life. Like, hey, like I love these guys. I've been keeping up with them on Burn Down podcast, but I don't know them in real life, and I'm not sure if I want to commit to this weekend yet. So that's pretty much what that evening is for. For everyone who does not know if they want to, kind of engage with us the whole weekend, to come out and to get a taste, just a taste, a sprinkle of what it's going to be like, So we're definitely going to make sure that is one memorable night, but just a sprinkle. If you want the whole thing,
just a little dab will do you.
Little dab will do you, baby.
A little bit. Then you have to come through for the whole experience. So the next day, Friday, that's the actual opening night. That opening night, as we said before, it is going to be a private venue that we have commandeered for the evening in Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn. And you know what? The focal point of that evening is going to be you gentlemen. So pretty much now, so the second part, okay, cool. You came through the Thursday. You saw what that was like. I mean, let's say you want to commit, but you live in Arizona, or maybe you live in Europe and you can't get over here. So you're going to be there, and we're going to be able to really show them, at least digitally, what that's like. But instead of us talking like we are here, now you'll actually be in the event. So it's like, we want to implore individuals, hey, sit down, have a drink, have a smoke with us. Maybe we can't do it together, but I mean, hey, what's distance in time, right? You're definitely there in spirit with us. So that's kind of the point behind that. We're actually going to have...
Wait.
Go ahead.
For those Brooklynites, who do we have specifically supplying the soundtrack for the evening?
So for the Brooklynites, we're not just in Brooklyn. We're in Bed-Stuy, which is pretty much a world of its own. I mean, back in the day, they used to call it do or die.
I was just gonna say do or die, Bed-Stuy.
No one's perishing. You're thinking about Biggie Brooklyn. You're thinking about Spike Lee Brooklyn. It's a little bit different these days. There's a lot of poodles outside and kids playing in the streets. A lot of charter schools, but it has like the same kind of artistic vibe. I'm gonna have none other than the homie John Medicine. But John Medicine, he's a brother that's been spinning for pretty much his whole life. He's very known in Brooklyn. He's very known in Bed-Stuy. He's a Bed-Stuy resident. So we're like, you know what? Let's just keep it local. Let's have some local talent and someone who is synonymous with that neighborhood. So he's going to be providing the soundtrack for the evening. I actually have another close friend of mine. His name is Ski. Ski is a graffiti artist. He has been doing graffiti for like over 30 years. And he's actually a brand ambassador for Back-to-Back Cigars and Zeno Platinum.
Wow.
Two cigars that we've smoked before, and we love them.
Absolutely.
That's
right.
Yeah. He's actually going to be there doing live art again. So some more live art. What's super cool about Ski, and a little bit of cigar history, if you don't know, Steve was the first individual as an artist to fully collaborate with a cigar brand in that capacity. So I believe he did the Zeno Platinum 10-year anniversary boxes, like fully, like he did the entire thing like 10 years ago, and people thought that, hey, this is kind of cool, but it's gonna get shelved. It's great, but I mean, art and cigars don't really mix. And 10 years later, he's still here. He's actually now a brand ambassador for both Zeno Platinum and Back-to-Back. So I have him in the building as well, doing like a live art presentation.
Who said that lie, though? That cigars and art don't coexist.
Yeah, I was going to say, who says that? Because I actually view cigars
As a work of art.
handmade art. Whenever I send cigars over, and they always ask, what's in the box? I always say it's handmade artwork. Because it's truly what it is. It's a work of art.
There's hundreds of hands that touch it.
You know how hard, you know how difficult it is to roll tobacco together and have it create. It's like being a chef. Can anybody cook? Like I certainly, I mean, after years and years of practice, but you can't just throw shit into a pot and it's going to taste good.
I could throw shit in a bowl of cereal with milk and.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't just throw random shit into a pot and it's going to be good. No. There's a certain ingredients and certain things pair well with themselves to create good flavored food. It's the same thing when it comes to cigars. This is an art form.
So I must say, it sounds like the Brooklynites here kind of keeping it in Brooklyn. So I must have to say, from Biggie.
Spread love, it's the Brooklyn way.
Hey. Yes, sir.
Come on.
Definitely.
Is that too cliche or what?
Oh man,
actually no, it isn't. Because that's really that's a mantra and that's a way of life for a lot of Brooklynites.
Absolutely, I know that.
It's just such a vibe, man. So you brothers coming there for the first night, like you're definitely going to be in for a treat. You're going to add to the experience as well, and you're also going to experience this quote unquote Brooklyn experience. So super amped for that. And then from there, we continue on the tour. So Saturday, we are going to be at a spot called Smoke and Ashes, which is in Teaneck, New Jersey. So now, we're going to give New Jersey, which is
some of the Jersey nights,
right over the river,
right over the bridge. And we're not going to check in. We're not going to go over the bridge and check in. We're just going to pop up. but that's going to be a fun time. So Smoke and Ashes, it's owned by a group of brothers actually from the Bronx. They decided to take their business on the other side of the river. And they actually opened up during COVID this year, which is
That's
insane.
That's a challenge.
But but you know what? It worked for them because, again, when you think about New York and the New York cigar experience currently, there's nowhere to really go where you can smoke in the city. I mean, there's a couple, a little off the beaten path kind of spots, but especially in Manhattan, everything's closed.
Shout out to Harlem Cigar Room. Shout out to Harlem Cigar Room.
Shout out to Harlem Cigar Room. I should say this, in Manhattan, in Lower Manhattan, in the places that most individuals usually go, all those places are closed. Everywhere is open for grab and go only. But in terms of the actual lounges, that all of us are used to hanging out in, that's not a thing right now, So they really won Smoke and Ashes because the thing about it is it has a huge outdoor outdoor experience that they just really capitalized off of. They tented the entire thing, and the only way I can describe it is it's kind of like, if you're a football fan, it's kind of like being at a humongous tailgate party, but where everyone's smoking cigars.
Is it a Bills Mafia tailgate?
Yeah, there's a difference between a tailgate and a Bills Mafia tailgate, so we got to know the difference.
Right. You know what? I'm not a Bills fan, so I cannot speak on that experience. I would just be ignorant. But, I mean, from what I've seen, it's not as raunchy. There's no debauchery going on, but it's fun nonetheless.
There's no one jumping through tables
and lighting themselves on fire.
And stuff like that. All right.
See, we're both. You're a Giants fan.
I'm a Jet fan.
He's a Jet fan. I'm a Giants fan. But I actually went to school up in that area, and one of my good friends is a Buffalo Bills fan, and I've been to some of those games. And debauchery doesn't even cover it. I mean, those people are out of their damn minds when it comes to tailgating.
They're another level.
But yeah, we have something great lined up for the experience for that day for sure. We pulled in sponsors who obviously, if you haven't seen, they've been running an amazing campaign during COVID, and their numbers have literally exceeded what their goals were for this year because of their marketing strategy and just how they're connecting to the public. And we're thankful to have them on board, or them trusting us to bring the experience along with them. We have Uncle Nearest as our spirits partner for that evening.
Nice.
And they'll be pairing with Emperor's Cut out of Houston, Texas. So that'd be that brand's first experience with New York Cigar Weekend, and the people will actually experience a different brand from a different region with right there in their backyard.
Beautiful. That
So,
sounds.
I love it.
That sounds.
And then
that sounds
OG,
like a good time.
if you don't mind, I mean, you've been on a roll, so if you don't mind letting them know who's running the soundtrack for that evening.
Sure. So that evening, we actually have a brother by the name of DJ Static. So DJ Static he's a veteran. He's been spinning, pretty much his whole life as well. He's actually Redman's DJ. And he is the in-house DJ on Saturdays at Smoking Ashes. So, the old adage, hey, listen, look, it's not broke, don't fix it. We were like, you know what? Let's just go with Static. We've been there actually a couple times this season. As Jamison said, he has the spirit of wanderlust, so he's in New York all the time. This brother goes out in New York more than I do, and I live here, I'm like, man, what's going on Saturday? Hey, Jamison. He's like, yo, I'm downtown. I'm like, what are you doing here? So he oftentimes he'll put me on to what's going on in the town anyway, as well. But yeah, we went there and he's turning these parties up and turning them out. So he's gonna do his thing as well. It's gonna be a little more of an elegant experience. Another private party for us. We love private, so we're gonna be doing that there.
Wait, you gotta tell them about the culinary experience.
Oh, I didn't even get there yet, man.
All right, man. Let the boy flow, man. He had his.
Jameson's excited about the food, obviously.
The food is great. You know what? I'm gonna do a little bit of braggadocio since Jamison, over here, he's getting all the heat. So one of the things I did today, which I didn't tell you, brothers, I had a tour of New York today myself. I was in 4 boroughs and New Jersey today. I was in 4 of these boroughs 3 times. So my day's been ridiculous. One of the things I did today was I actually linked up with Uncle Nearest and the chef for the evening, who goes by the name of the Food Pimp. And they call him the Food Pimp because he, quote unquote, he pimps your palate.
I like it. I like it. He pimps your palate.
Pimping me out on my palate.
Hell yeah.
Listen, he pimps that palate, brother. I had one of his amazing world famous burgers today. It was so good. It was one of the best burgers I ever had. Seriously. So he's opening up a restaurant right here in Brooklyn as well. So it's a lot of growth and a lot of things going on. I'm into it. But he's going to be cooking there, and he's going to actually have like wing, chicken, steak, and like beef inspired dishes. But he's going to be seasoning with Uncle Nearest. Wow. So we're going to have a little bit of like a boozy, a boozy kind of situation going on. So he's going to be there cooking live as well. His thing, he's a part of the lifestyle, so you'll probably see him grilling with like a suit and tie on, like a chef's coat over it.
I love it.
Something.
I love it.
Yeah.
That's fresh.
That's the old school way,
fresh.
man. Roll the sleeves up, put an apron on. Don't even need to change. Leave the suit on, man. Just take the jacket off. Roll the sleeves up a little bit.
Do it, baby. That's how they
love it, man.
Do it.
You can always clean your shirt, man. You can always get the shirt clean.
Everything's an experience, So that's going to be great, especially if you're into food, drinks, and cigars. You'll be able to do all 3 of those things synonymously with this harmonious, kind of touch and feel to it.
I love it. So now, what's in store? Oh, go ahead. I cut you off.
No, go ahead, brother.
My apologies.
No, please.
No, so I was going to say, so that's all on Saturday, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's Saturday. That's in Jersey.
So that's all. So Thursday is going to be the free event, going to be the opening night.
In the Bronx.
In the Bronx. Friday is going to be in the Bronx again, but it's a private.
Brooklyn.
I'm sorry, Brooklyn. Sobro, right? Is that what they said? Sobro?
Yes.
Bed-Stuy.
Yes, sir.
But that's going to be a private event. Saturday is going to be in New Jersey, in Teaneck, New Jersey. That's going to be the culinary experience. That's going to be another. That's going to be more of an open. Is that private as well?
No, it's not a private event.
Yeah, it's all private.
Everything's private.
Well, yeah, I guess it is private considering you have to buy a ticket, right?
Wide open is Thursday. Everything else is private.
And then, now moving into Sunday, where are we closing out the weekend?
All right. So listen, we saved the best for the last. We don't believe in modesty. I just want you to know that. So to close off, we're actually heading back to Brooklyn.
I love how he had the little chuckle. The little chuckle Jamison had. Oh, you got to fix that.
I don't think they believe that at all at this point. I don't think any of the viewers believe that the experienced brokers are modest at all.
Right. If you haven't told, if you can't tell by now, we're not modest. with that being said, we are going to finish off in Brooklyn, but we're all the way downtown. Like, we're literally going to be right outside of the Brooklyn and the Manhattan bridges. We're going to a spot called the Tillery Hotel, and we're going to commandeer the rooftop for the evening. So
I love
that
it.
is gonna
Rooftop
be
smoking, man. Nothing better than that.
Yes. That's going to be the official, the grand closing. What's different about that rooftop is it's kind of like it's a rooftop garden. You're not all the way up in the sky, but you definitely have open air. It's like a second floor rooftop situation. But that's gonna be bonkers. You know what, Jamison? I'll let you finish this one off. I had everything.
So the Tillery is going to be a smoking wonderland. Like, just the aesthetics that we have in place for those people that are like arriving and those people that haven't experienced the Tillery. Well, you know what's interesting? When I was last in New York was literally like 2 weeks ago, and we actually attended the Tillery just to feel the room, just to feel the premises and see how things were flowing. And OG and I, we kind of looked at each other and it was telepathic. We just knew it's nothing like what we're gonna do. You know, if you ever been to the Tillery before, this most definitely will still be a new experience for you, because just the brands that we have coming in to support us, how the Tillery have embraced us and our concept for what we want to bring to the people has been uncanny. So like that rooftop experience, like you said, it's nothing like a rooftop smoking, right? But there's nothing like rooftop smoking in elegance. Yeah.
I mean, if you couldn't tell by the Burn Down podcast, we're all about elegance and class. So when you say the word smoking, rooftop, elegant, consider us there.
So we coined the line from the Jay-Z verse, grand opening, grand closing. So I-9 will be the grand opening, which, you know, allows everybody to come. You know, we shake hands, kiss babies, be political. But the grand closing is that thing where you now have to tell people, because they obviously missed it at that point. You have to tell people, hey, listen, this is what you missed. Look at my Instagram. Listen, look at these photos from the event. Look at this video from the event. And then the sounds for the evening will be coming from, it's a gentleman. He's very well known within Brooklyn and Manhattan, and he's real known on the Caribbean circuit. And his name is the Doctor, because he fixes all your problems through music.
I like it.
I love all the let me pimp your palate. Let me fix your problems through music. I love all the taglines. I love it,
Listen,
man.
These cats are coming to us with this. You know, we're not making this up for them. You know, they're coming to us, and that's how we're able to carefully pick. For instance, if you've seen the ambassador list that came out like 9:00 this morning, but also if you're not following at New York Cigar Weekend, you need to do that right now.
Get on it. Get on it.
Now. Because you are missing a lot of great people. You're missing a lot of great energy. And throughout this week and the first half of next week, as far as promotion goes on, you don't want to miss the energy that we're putting into visualizing the experience that you're going to receive. So literally, like the Tillery, we call it the grand closing, because we have all intentions on making it some shit that you just walk away saying, damn, can we do this again?
Yeah, brother.
Amen, brother.
God damn.
I love it, man. And this, so like you said, you don't want to miss this weekend, right? And I'm going to take this back to Friday. So you guys obviously are watching, guys that are listening, you got the rundown. It's Thursday to Sunday. It's September 24th, 25, 26, and 27. You don't want to miss the event. Now, for Friday, we had mentioned that we are going to be doing a live Burn Down podcast episode.
That's right.
That's going to be on Friday, September 25th, at the private location in Brooklyn, in Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn, baby. Okay? You don't want to miss it. Now.
You don't have your ticket.
Now.
I can't.
Gotta get a ticket. See the link in the description, baby.
Yeah,
Come
buddy.
on. We're making it easy.
We're announcing this right now.
Off the hip,
off the cuff, off the dome. At the event, during the live episode, we are going to be doing a giveaway. The only way that you can enter the giveaway is you got to be there in person. This isn't going to be an Instagram giveaway. This isn't going to be an internet giveaway. You have to be there in person. So
On Friday,
September 25th in Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn, you got to get your ticket. If you'd like to go to the single event and come and see us, come watch the behind the scenes, come watch the episode live, come enter into the giveaway, you can get a single ticket for a single day. It's $75. Click the link in the description below. If you'd like to join the entire weekend,
you want the experience.
you want the whole experience from the experienced brokers themselves.
You know it.
Okay, if anybody knows anything about an experience, it's the experienced brokers. You got to click the link in the description below. You get the whole weekend for $200. You don't want to miss it. You can join us, the Burn Down, for the live episode. You can enter in the giveaway. You can experience the entire weekend of cigar smoking events.
Come on, man. It's a cigar. It's what it's all about. It's about the experience with a cigar and good people.
I mean, come on. I mean, listen, it's private events, so you need a ticket. We have another saying. It's called exclusive.
Exclusive,
Hashtag
baby.
exclusive.
It's exclusive.
And we know we love the exclusivity of these events. We love everything about it, the class, the elegance. You don't want to miss out. So click the link in the description below, get yourself a ticket, and come join the Burn Down Friday night, September 25th.
Come meet the Burn Down. Come meet the experienced brokers. Come on. I mean, you meet good people, good music, good vibes.
Good food.
It's just good everything. In my
It's good
opinion.
everything, man.
There's food Friday night too. And
I didn't have to say it, but there's going to be good food.
It's just going to be an all-around great experience. If you're into cigars, if you're just looking to get into cigars and you want a place to start, come to the New York Cigar Weekend. Get yourself a ticket. Click the link in the description below.
Bro,
come on. What are you
come
waiting
on.
for? You should have already paused the video, clicked the link, and gotten your ticket already.
Come on, son. Come on.
now, listen, what I will say, I'll say two things. First thing, if you love smoking cigars, please put an emoji in right now. Now,
Boom.
after that is done, if you think you like cigars, if you just like beautiful people, ladies, if you like elegant men, fellas, if you like beautiful women, New York Cigar Weekend is where it's happening. I'm not trying to damage anyone's relationships or anything like that, but I most definitely will say this is an event you probably don't need to bring sand to the beach if you ain't got to. I'm just saying.
Oh, you don't need to bring sand to the beach.
Leave that ball and chain at home.
I love the modesty.
I'm just.
That is too far.
I know.
If we're being honest.
Understand, I know how hard we work into producing this. I know how hard we work in the meetings and the deals and even the relationship with the sponsors that are sponsoring. Like, come on, man. When was the last time you had a Xeno Platinum and it was given to you? Okay, we'll leave it right there. All right.
Exactly.
That's exactly
Bottom
exactly
line.
where we should leave it. That's exactly where we
I
should
love
leave
it. Bottom line, listen, we're running out of time here, and the experienced brokers, OG, Jamison, we appreciate you guys taking the time out of your busy schedules to join us here on the Burn Down. Go get yourself a ticket to New York Cigar Weekend. Link is in the description below. Come join us, the Burn Down, Eric and Justin, Brother Cigar, the Dapper Cigar. We're doing a live episode that Friday night, private event. You don't want to miss it. So again, gentlemen, thank you very much for your time. If you're not following these guys, we'll put the link to their Instagram right here, the link to New York Cigar Weekend right here, the link to Experienced Brokers right here. Go follow them, check them out. And gentlemen, we're going to send it off with a toast to you guys.
Until New York Cigar Weekend, here's to the best weekend that's ever going to be occurring.
I'll toast to that. Ooh.
God bless, brothers.
Let's go. God bless and cheers. Chintan.
September 24th through the 27th. Get your tickets right now.
You heard the man.
Love it.
Brothers, thank you so much for having us. It was a pleasure. It's always a pleasure meeting brothers that are cut from the same cloth. You know, so both of us are super excited. You know what? I'll throw it back. Both of us are super stoked to hang out together.
Super stoked.
So, hashtag stoked.
Let's go, baby.
Stoked.
I mean, we already getting along from the 2 Zoom calls that we had. I can only imagine what it's going to be like in person. So
Hashtag stoked and yoked.
stoked and yoked, baby.
Yeah. I like that.
Let's ride. Let's get out of here. We out,
Let's
son.
go, man.
We out here.
We out here, cuz.
We out here. cuz.
I gotta go shopping again. Hold on.
One more thing to add. Let's up the ante a little bit, huh? a little friendly competition between friends. So both of you brothers are gonna come representing the burn down, and Jamison and myself are gonna come representing the experience brokers. Let's do a who wore it better situation.
Ooh, damn! I might have to break out them. Velvet shoes.
I might have to break out the pinky ring. I don't even know what I gotta bring out. I gotta go deep.
Oh, I got it already, son. It's out.
Bring it out, brother. Bring him out. Bring him out.
You know it. Ooh. All right, boys. Well, it's on. You guys heard it here first. We're gonna be saying who wore it better. We're gonna be putting the polls all over the gram.
We're gonna be zooted.
Yeah, baby. So until then, stay tuned and wait till we see us at the New York Cigar Weekend.
Absolutely.
Let's go, guys.
Salud, everybody.